It's true.
I said that.
Yeah. No, you're right.
No, baby.
But if they do fight, who wins between Fury and Usyk?
I mean, I don't know. That's on the fence too.
50-50.
Yeah, that's a 50-50 fight for me too. You know what I mean? Because you just never know when you get in there. It depends on who's gonna cheat the hardest. That's what it is. It depends on who's gonna cheat the hardest.
All I know is someone failed a drug test. I'm not saying who. And someone was messing with gloves in England. I'm not gonna say who. And someone messing with gloves in England.
That ain't proved by a sanctioned body. You know what I'm saying? But because it's their gloves, it's okay.
And someone had a fight where they had a big cut that anybody else on the planet would have gotten the loss. But he got the W.
Somebody had with all the referees overcount.
Yep.
The list goes.
Listen, let me tell you what I learned in life.
What's good, family? It's your man, the YB. Back once again. So we just heard there. In fact, big shout out to my doggy Shed for coming through and boosting up the coin. So, we just heard there from your mans, Deontay, Wilder, airing out Tyson, Fury, and Oleksandr, allegedly Usyk. Now listen, I'm going to call it a spade here. The Fury allegations, they are what they are. I don't care what no one says. Fury's gloves in that second fight, was it the first? Second fight? He was doing some next thing I've never seen before. Flip-flopping all around the place. I've never seen that one before. That's just what the facts say. Not my opinion. If it wasn't floppy, I'd tell you it wasn't floppy. However, the count thing, in the past I've done videos and said Fury's count may have been dodgy, but taking the sport from a holistic sense, it's irrelevant. Yeah, look at Chris Ubambi Jr. at the other weekend against Liam Smith. Yeah, that shows you whether you, in my opinion, if someone's knocked out, if you've done a good enough job to knock someone out, it shouldn't matter whether they get 13 seconds or 10. Do you understand? Yeah, ask Chris Ubambi Jr. if his count was long or not. He could have had a 40-second count. Do you understand? If someone's truly knocked out and you've done your job as a fighter, or you've done your job as the most powerful puncher in the world, you shouldn't need, yeah, if Liam B-level Beefy didn't need a quick count, why did a heavyweight hardest puncher in history need a 10-second count? Do your job. Yeah, your job is to knock the guy out, and it shouldn't matter whether it's 10 or 15 seconds. In my opinion, if a man can get up in 15 seconds, he can probably get up in 10. If a man can survive after getting up in 15, your job has not been completed. Do you understand? Because Chris Ubambi, he had about 2 minutes and still had no legs underneath him. So your job is to incapacitate the guy. It's not to, I put him down and he's still fit enough to fight on, but I want to try and, essentially Wilder's or with the count at least, he's trying to play on a technicality. Yeah? Wilder's trying to get a knockout scored without really achieving it. Because listen, if Tyson Fury was truly knocked out, he wouldn't have been up, would he? It wouldn't have mattered whether it was 20 seconds or 30 seconds. When someone's out, they're out. Not to mention, people, the guy had a long count. Let's say the guy had a 5-second longer count. Why didn't you go in there and handle your business? Yeah? If you're telling us that Fury was knocked out and it's not fair, I've been wrong, why didn't you go in there and handle your business then? Because if he was not, you're saying he's knocked out. Yeah? Wilder's a legend. Fury was knocked out and the ref saved him with a count. Well, if he was that much knocked out, why didn't you just walk across the ring and pop him right on his chops? Yeah? That's how it doesn't make sense to me. Clearly Fury wasn't knocked out, if that makes sense. Because when someone's knocked out, it doesn't matter if it's 10 seconds or 15, they're out. Or as good as out. Even if they're up, like Chris Ubambi Jr., he was still out. His legs underneath him, no legs. And at which point, Liam Smith went across the ring and put it on him and finished him. Yeah? So the counts, I don't want to hear no more talk about counts anymore. Handle your business. Your job's to, handle your business. And we wouldn't need to talk about counts. Like Dana White says, if you handle your business, you don't need to leave it in hands of the judges or otherwise, or the officials. And Wilder, up until this point, has been happy. You know what I mean? In a lot of Wilder's KOs, he don't need to worry about the count. So in my opinion, if fighters are worried about the count, you ain't done your job sufficiently. Simple as that. Anyway, again, I judge things on a case-by-case basis, and I think the gloves, for sure, were fugazi. But Wilder also said, Fury was allowed to use illegal gloves. I think Fury used horsehair gloves. But Wilder, on that night, he actually opted to use the same. He ended up using the Everlast MX gloves. So that's a bit of a moot point as well. However, it's also true that Fury has failed nandrolone tests. And it was all a bit mobbish. It was all a bit mafia-ish. Yeah? There was a guy who came out and said Fury paid him 30 grand to say it was boar meat, raw boar meat. And then he backtracked when, in my opinion, MTK, the Kinahan cabal, stepped in and touched the guy and told him, listen, you better zip it. Because Fury, and what was it recently? I'm sure recently I read somewhere that there's been that was it. Some guy was on DJ Vlad. And he was a New York half bigwig, sniff trafficker, yeah? And he was saying he was using, back in the 80s and 90s, he was trying to use, what's that famous, not Kylie Minogue, you have Madonna, that's it. He was trying to use Madonna to wash their money, yeah? Because if a celebrity like Madonna gets 10 million, it's not a big thing. So they were trying to get Madonna to deposit a whole bunch of cash into her account and then get it into the financial system, essentially money laundering. My point is, yeah, 100%. Do you not, the whole Tyson Fury thing, yeah, and the whole MTK thing, and the whole Dr. Al-Shabaab. Don't forget about Dr. Al-Shabaab as well. Yeah, Dr. Al-Shabaab come in. Oh yeah, I can juice people. Come to me. And Fury said, oh, I'm sticking with Dr. Al-Shabaab. So it's all a bit, it does stink. Now, so for Wilder to say there's something fishy with Fury, that for me in my court, it's upheld, or a number of kind of cases are upheld. A number aren't. Again, the count for me isn't upheld. Yeah, the gloves issue. Sorry, dodgy gloves, yes, but not the horsehair thing. The horsehair is not. It's also a non-issue. The taking substances is also upheld in the court of the YB. However, when it comes to Usyk, I don't think it's fair. Obviously, Wilder's still butthurt. He's still butthurt that Fury pushes Wig back. I like Wilder. Wilder's really, looking back, one of my favourite fighters. Historically speaking, looking back at how he's handled himself, he's probably one of my top 3 fighters. Of how he operates, I like it. Yeah. However, I understand his scorn. Yeah, he's scorned that he been got. However, we can't just lob everyone into the same bucket just because you're scorned. Yes, there's cases against Fury, but to say that whoever cheats the most, I haven't actually heard of any allegations of Usyk cheating. In fact, I've got a video coming soon. John Fury came out recently and said, oh, look at Usyk in the swimming pool. He doesn't look very big, does he? And then in a few months he'll show up after doing God knows what, and he'll be really big and strong. I wonder what they're doing. It's like, and this is the thing. It's like in relationships, when people think others are cheating, it's normally because you're playing away from home. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to have no home matches. So it's all a bit odd, isn't it, from the Fury side, poking holes at a man who's never been. Bear in mind, again, you're the ones who've categorically failed tests. And with all due respect, I don't think Tommy Fury's juiced, but if anyone wants to be... People used to laugh about AJ. Oh, AJ's big and buff and bulbous, which he is big and buff and bulbous, but seriously, Tommy, come on now. Tommy's like the white version of AJ, just buff. But obviously not nowhere near as accomplished as AJ, but still big buff looking ass. Do you understand? So let's get something straight here. Let's not throw stones in glass houses here. But either way, back to Wilder. Wilder, this clip did make me laugh, to be fair, when he said, bum, whoever will win. In fact, let's replay this one, Selector, 100%. Let's replay the bars, quick time.
But if they do, someone failed a drug test, I'm not saying who, and someone was messing with gloves in England, I'm not going
to... Yeah, this depends on...
Usyk.
I mean, I don't know. That's on the fence too. 50-50. Yeah, that's a 50-50 fight for me too. You know what I mean? Because you just never know when you get in there. It depends on who's going to cheat the hardest. That's what it is. It depends on who's going to cheat the hardest.
All I know is...
Yeah, the bars, man. The bars did make me laugh on that one. But still, let's be serious now. I think there's serious allegations to be thrown about. I think if people in the past have previous convictions, then yes, we can crack jokes. But Usyk, as far as I'm aware, his record's clean. And again, as far as I'm aware, he's a purebred. Yeah? Them, from what I understand, I might be wrong, but from what I understand and the evidence I've seen, A lot of them Habib dons, yeah, they, well, from what I've seen, they're solid. They believe in some purity of the sport. When they lose, they lose. I'm trying to think. When's a Habib don lost? Huh? It's quite rare, isn't it? When's the last Habib don who lost? I don't even know. I don't know. So I'd like to say, I assume when they lose graciously. So I don't think you can dish it out. These allegations, just put it on anyone who sticks, just because you're butthurt that you're not involved in the undisputed fight. Yeah, you got knocked out at the semi-finals, essentially, and that's the end of that. If your beef is with Fury, that's where you should keep the beef. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, and leck off the bell, 100%.